Good morning. Today's class is on Introduction to Business Economics. I hope all of you are aware that a topic which would be taught is the business economics or the managerial economics. So the business economics or managerial economics, those are basically same. Uh, if we talk about managerial economics, if you recall the course what you are studying is the business administration. In business administration, actually you want to become the efficient manager, business manager. So your task would be to operate the business organization efficiently. So your part is to become the efficient business manager. Efficient business manager. You want to be the efficient business manager. So to be the efficient business manager in one business organization or organizational setup, there are many people, many resources, human resources, those who work in the organization. So your first and foremost task to manage that organization, the people who work in that organization, and ultimately to generate profit. Ultimately to generate profit. If we look into the organizational aspects, there are different people. Those people work in different categories as per the functionaries of that department. So all functions will be under your control. So manager, being a manager, you need to manage those issues. There may be conflicts, there may be some problems. Those problems you have to resolve. So those are the part you will be doing. And in another part, being a manager, efficient manager, you need to generate profit. So you see to make balance between the handling those human resources or any other resources. Resources, if we talk about, those are the land, labor, capital, and the factors of production are land, labor, capital, and organizations. And different inputs which are required to produce the output, and then you need to produce the output in such a way you have to handle the uh, uh, cost of production in such way so that profit is generated. Again, you see, if you look into the definition of profit, profit is equal to revenue minus cost, total revenue minus total cost. If the revenue is high and cost is less, then more profit will be generated. Revenue is higher and cost is also higher, then also if revenue is more than the cost, there will be the profit, but the level of profit or the amount of profit will be little less. But if the revenue is not that much high, means revenue is manageable or medium level or low level of revenue you are earning, and the cost of production is high, then profit may not be found out. There may be loss also in the organization. If the organization incurs loss, then being a manager, you will not be treated as the efficient manager, so you will be thrown out. So those are the aspects which you have to deal being a manager. So managerial economics refers to those issues you have to deal in. So that means here, if you look into the what I have spoken, the aspects of managerial economics or aspects of a manager, what the manager has to deal in. See here, total is the decision making. So decision making, you have to be a good decision maker, you have to be a good perfect decision maker. If you are a good decision maker, then you will be able to handle all the resources uh, carefully. Being a good decision, to be a good decision maker, uh, you need to handle it strategically. So strategic management is also important part of the managerial economics. So you see, being a manager or the manager, you need to develop a model which is called the decision model. So in decision model includes different decision variables. So those decision variables you have to handle carefully. See the decision variable. What are the decision variables? Those decision variables, as I have said, different inputs, price, the marketing conditions, then handling the resources. Those are the decision variables. Those decision variables you need to handle carefully to fulfill the objective of the organization. Objective of the organization is optimization of profit. Optimization refers not only the maximization, it refers either maximization or minimization, whichever is required. See, if being a manager, you need to, as I have said, you need to control the cost, you need to minimize the cost. So whenever cost is your concern, then you have to minimize the cost. When cost is the concern, then you have to minimize the cost. When profit is your concern, then you will be maximizing your profit. When cost is concerned, then you need to minimize cost. When profit is concerned, then you have to maximize profit. So here optimization refer in case of profit, maximization of profit, and in case of cost is minimization of cost. So both includes refer as the optimization of the objective function. So your objective either to minimize cost or to maximize profit, subject to different constraints. Different constraints. There are many barriers. There are many constraints. That constraints may be efficient to get the efficient laborers. If your concern, your firm is the engineering firm, then you have to get the good or efficient engineers. If the raw material also, you have to get this raw material must be good quality raw material. If your raw materials are not qualitative, then the product whatever you will produce, that won't be qualitative product, then that won't be able to survive in the market to face the competition of the of products produced by the other companies. Or it may be if your firm is involved in export and import business, then in an international market also that product won't be able to that product will not be sold out. So there are many problems. So those are the constraints. So that constraints also you have to handle. But here there are certain problems. You will maximize your objective function, whether it is maximization of profit or the minimization of cost, subject to constraints, subject to constraints. Those constraints, as I have said, the raw material, for example, on constant, and there may be some other constraints. There may be international threat also. There may be competitive threat also. So there are different constraints available in the economy. Those constraints you need to manage. You need to manage those constraints. But see, to manage those constraints, suppose raw materials, you want to get the good quality raw materials, and then you have purchased the good quality raw material but at a higher price. So if you purchase that good quality of raw materials at higher price, automatically the cost of production will be high. If the cost of production is high, then that you will also charge higher price and you offer in the market. So in total the market price of the product will be high. So if market price of the product is high, and then you need to think where you are selling, in which market you are selling that product. The product you are selling, if it is the necessary product, where your customers target are the targeted customers are the mediocre family or the lower class family, those who are in the lower income bracket, so then that product will not be sold out. Yes, your product may be sold out in the market where elite people are living there, but your objective is to sell the product to the maximum people, whether they are in lower income bracket or higher income bracket. In that case, if you purchase those raw materials at higher cost, means a high price, then you will not be able to sustain in the market. So those also have to be managed, That is why you have to be the good decision maker. So decision making is the most important part of managerial economics. What is decision making then? Decision making means the process of choosing one action from two or more alternatives available to the business executive. There are many options available in the economy. Among all, you need to choose the efficient one. You need to choose the appropriate one, the one which will fit or which will fulfill your objective function. Say, if I go back into the definition of economics, that economics defined by Lionel Robbins. As I said, Lionel Robbins defined economics in terms of science of scarcity or the science of choice. So if you can recall the science of choice, there, while discussing the science of choice, I said several times, the choices have to be made. There are many alternatives. So if you suppose you want to reach to the college, there are many alternatives. Local transport, public transport is available. You can buy the bicycle, you can come by two-wheeler, you can come by four-wheeler. So there are many options. It depends on your affordability, which one you can avail. So it depends upon your purchasing power. So you need to choose out of those three or four, or only one, depending upon your purchasing power depending upon your ability to pay. Similarly here, depending upon to fulfill your objective function, either to maximize profit or to sell maximization. There is model of Baumol is the sales revenue maximization model. You will study in other chapter, future chapter. So what is your objective? Accordingly, you need to choose that particular course of action. There the decision making lies. Whether you are a perfect decision maker, if you are perfect decision maker, or if your decision making is perfect, then automatically you will choose the actual accurate one, which will fulfill your objective function. If you fulfill your objective function, if you can generate profit, higher profit, and if you can show profit to the entrepreneur, and also if you can increase the volume of sales, automatically you will be the wanted person to that particular organization. Your salary will not be problem into that organization. So you see, decision making is the most important part. Of a business manager. Decision making is the most important part of a decision. So you need to be good decision maker. But see, decision making, say you will make decision in the current situation, but you need to plan before. So if you want to make a decision for the next year, you need to plan today or during this month. So you have to make plan for the future. So future planning is called the forward planning. So forward planning means the establishing plans for the future. So future plan has also to be made. These plans focus the future program of actions by the business unit. The basic problem of choices arises because of resources at disposal of a business unit. The resources are land, labor, capital, and managerial capacity or the managerial ability, of course matter. But those resources are scarce, those resources are limited. Whatever, since decision making is the most and prime objective of a business manager, therefore decision making requires the forward planning. So decision making and forward planning runs side by side. Then business economics is actually the discipline which helps the business manager in decision making for achieving desired result. What is your desired result? To fulfill the objective function, to optimize the objective function. Your objective function, when you will study the MBA, then you will find the operations research. Then in operations research, you will study linear programming problem. There are different managerial models you will study. In that managerial model, in almost all the models you will find there are objective functions. So that model, you have to frame the model where there will be objective function, where you need to derive the constraints also. So subject to that constraints, there will be always constraints in the economy. So subject to that constraints, managing those constraints, you need to fulfill your objective function. So that fulfilling the objective function is actually the achieving your goal. So business economics is that discipline which helps the business manager to fulfill the business goal. It is actually the application of economic theory to business management. This is all about the definition of business economics or the managerial economics. Let me repeat once again. That managerial economics refers to those issues of economics which are required for managerial operations. For managerial operations, what are the things required for managerial operations? The managerial operations, manager always tries to fulfill the objective function subject to the constraint resources. There are many resources which are always constraints to the manager. So that constant resources have to be managed carefully, and finally you need to reach your business goal. Finally you need to reach your business goal. That business goal is the objective function. The objective function usually either the maximization of cost or the minimization of profit. So whether it is maximization of cost or minimization of cost, those maximization or minimization is called together as the optimization of the objective function. So you need to optimize the objective function subject to the constraints available in the economy. Therefore, business economics helps the business manager to deal with those issues to fulfill the objective function subject to the given constraints or the available constraints in the market. This is the complete definition of business economics or the managerial economics. Basically, the business economics or the business manager and the managerial economics or manager's tasks are same. There are many issues which the business manager or the managers have to manage. Then next come to the scopes of managerial economics. What are the scopes? What are the areas in which the managerial economics or the business economists work? To fulfill your objective function, I said the objective function is the optimization function of the objective function is the either the maximization of profit or the minimization of cost subject to different constraints available in the economy. So what are the constraints that also I have explained? It may be on availability of required inputs, it may be availability of efficient laborers, or maybe some other things as per the nature of the business. So to fulfill the objective function, in which areas the manager has to work? The scope of managerial economics. Demand analysis and the forecasting. I have said the decision making and forward planning. Those run side by side. What is forward planning? I said it is plan or planning, to make planning or to make the plan for future. So you need to make the future planning is nothing but the forecasting. So you need to forecast today about the demand of next year. So today, if you make plan that how many of your products or how much of the products would be produced in the next year, and what would be the cost of production, how much would be sold out in the market, and in which market you will sell, that also has to be explored. So are nothing but the forecasting. So you will make the forecasting. You will make the demand estimation. For that you need to make the demand analysis. You will find, perhaps you have studied in your statistics the regression equation, which requires a dependent variable, subject to different independent variables. If you look into if you recall an equation, for example, y equal to mx plus c. Y is dependent variable, mx plus c, m is the slope, and dy by dx, x is another independent variable. Suppose if you take on real example, production of agricultural crop. Depends upon rainfall, depends upon the manures, depends upon the good quality of seeds. So those are, for example, those are the three independent factors. What are those independent factors? The rainfall, second is the manure or the fertilizer, and third one is the what I said, a good quality of seed. So those are the independent factors. Those factors do not depend upon any other factor. But the production of crop depends upon these fertilizers, this rainfall, and then good quality seed. So therefore, if you want to measure if you want to make the demand analysis of the production of crop, so production of crop is the dependent variable, which is kept in the left hand side. If you look into the equation y equal to mx plus c, then the production of crop will be treated by y, will be measured by y. So then this is kept in the left hand side, what you want to measure, and right hand side all the variables, those are the independent variables, those are the independent variables. So if you can estimate through regression equation the production of cost, then demand analysis can be predicted, demand can be predicted for the next year. So demand estimation you make today for the next year, this is nothing but the forward planning, means you are making plan for the future. You need to explore the market, because you have to make the price, you have to make the price of the you have to decide upon the price of the product. So what will be, at what price this product will be offered in the market, and in which market you will be selling that product, that also you need to think. You need to explore that market, what type of customers are available in this market. Suppose if you take an example of say product, say lipstick, you are producing this lipstick, for example. So who uses these lipsticks? Those ladies between the age between say 10 to 40. So you need to think in which market you will be selling that product, and in that particular market what are the percentage of ladies living in compared to this total population, and then whether they are working ladies or not. If you see the ladies are most of the ladies are working in that particular market, then you can estimate, you can think that your most of your product will be sold out, because they are not dependent upon their husband's income or their parents' income. So like this, you need to make the market survey, then market research will be done, then forecasting will be done, then finally the demand analysis to be done. So this is an important part of a business manager or the manager of an organization to fulfill the objective, means maximization of profit or the minimization cost. Because minimization cost, when you talk about, then it comes to the availability of the resources. So second scope of business economics or managerial economics relates to the cost and production analysis. So first part talks about demand, what would be the demand in the market, in which area you want to sell your product. Second part talks about the cost of production. So whether the raw materials are available in the market or not, what is the quality of that raw material. If the quality of the raw material is very poor, then in that case the product quality will be less, and the market where you want to sell, there the customers don't want to purchase the this less qualitative product. Then if you produce that, your product won't be sold out. So before that, you will be making the market research comparing with your substitute product, means competitive product, the similar product which is produced by the other competitors. Accordingly, you need to purchase the raw materials, and accordingly you will measure the cost of production. After the production will take place, if your cost is high, then market price will be higher. Cost is less, then market price will be lower, and accordingly you will charge the price, and accordingly the profit will be generated. So the cost and the production analysis is also important factor to reach your business objective. Then pricing decisions. If your cost of production is measured, then demand is already estimated, then for a manager, those first 2 points are very much important for a manager. It won't be the difficult task to charge the price or to fix the price, what would be the price of their product. Because while making the demand estimation, you have already known what type of people live in that particular market. What is their purchasing power? Accordingly, you have decided to purchase the raw materials and price you are charging. So price decision becomes easier if your demand forecasting and measuring the costs are perfect. Then once the pricing decision is done, then come to the question of profit. If your cost of production is low and the product you are producing is demanded in that particular market, then there will be a desired level of revenue. Desired level of revenue will be generated. If revenue is more, cost is less, then amount of profit will be high. Again, you need to think about the competitors. Competitors, how many competitors are producing that product? What is the quality of their product? What is the quality of their product? In the particular market where you want to sell the product, how many ladies are purchasing the competitors product in that particular market, or they are purchasing from outside market? That has also to be judged. Then only you will be able to find out whether in that particular market your product launching that product will be viable or not. Accordingly you will charge the price and profit management would be done. Being a say for example, you are the new new entrepreneur entrant in that market, so initially you may charge less price. Let your product be popular first. Once your product is popular, then automatically you start raising the price of the product. So initially when you are new in the market, that time the level of profit is less because your price is less, cost is same. And when you become popular, your product is popular, you are charging higher price, so profit margin is becoming more. So this is called the profit management. Initially, to make your product popular, when your product is in infant stage, that time you are charging lesser price, so less profit you are giving to the entrepreneur. Accordingly, you are convincing or making understand to the entrepreneur, and gradually when the product is becoming matured and in the maturity stage, moving towards the maturity stage of the product life cycle, then automatically you are charging the higher price, so the level of profit will be more. So in this way, profit can be managed. Similarly, when the entrepreneur invests money, you need to think about the capital management. Because entrepreneur cannot always give money from beginning to the end if the product life cycle, for example, 3 years. So you need to plan, say first how much product you will produce. After selling that product, that money can all again be reinvested in the market. So in this way, same capital can be reinvested, same capital, maybe amount of capital may be rolled out in the market. With the same or less amount of capital, you can produce more and more. Initially, since the um, uh, total revenue just after initial level is again reinvested total amount, so the entrepreneur's profit will be there, but he may not get the sufficient return on investment, ROI, because ROI is the final ultimate measurement of investment, whether that investment is profitable or not. Because entrepreneur's objective is to find out the ROI, what ROI he is getting, return on investment. So first, revenue, for example, after 6 months, the revenue, whatever the entrepreneur earns, that may be reinvested. So with that revenue, again, you are producing another amount, another bulk of the quantity. So with less amount of capital, you can produce higher volume of product, and is being sold out in the market. After a certain stage, or certain period of time, then automatically the entrepreneur will find out the ROI, return on investment, from on his investment, on the amount of money he has invested. So capital management, actual capital management is also an important part of business economics or the managerial economics. So being a business manager, you need to look into those factors. This is just a concept of business management, or you can say it is an introduction to business management or the business manager. So being a business manager, you need to look on those factors to be a perfect business manager, or the perfect manager in any organizational setup. Thank you.